everyone, even the biggest names in esports, are capable of committing blunders. But only a select few will spend all of eternity getting ragged on for it. Whether it's an uncanny ability to get trapped atop cliffs, frying to death in a sea of fabled self-administered flames, or a catastrophic instance of bad real-time mathematics, there are no shortage of memes surrounding esports' most hilarious and heartbreaking mishaps.
Here comes the tension, here comes the push. Down on white stairs, waiting for the vault on in is Canadian. Will he be able to secure the kill? He sees the tracers go. No! Scyther will win the fight!
But in the ever-evolving esport that is Valorant, there is one signature screw-up that soars above and, well, away from the rest.
I'm not gonna ult him. No, he's close. He drowned me, Yeah, right. How does he hit that? Mid-air. I'm mid-air.
One enemy remaining.
You can't make this up. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Yeah, I'm right there too. No, dude, it doesn't work.
Today, we're pouring one out for Yassine Subroza-ult, the notoriously cracked CSGO turned Valorant competitor whose infamous rocket mishaps have canonized him as the patron saint of really, really bad Raze Ults.
Oh yeah, of course I get flashed when I ulted. It's cursed! It's cursed! It's cursed! It's cursed! It's cursed! Someone did some voodoo shit.
The thing is, Subroza is no stranger to scrutiny regarding his aim. And let me tell you, it hasn't always been playful.
Bro,
First
he
off,
hacks.
I know
You see
it's
the clips?
I don't
He
think
100% hacks.
So who is Subroza really? Why did everyone accuse him of cheating in CSGO?
You know, I thought like the pros were smart enough to be like, oh, he doesn't cheat, look at him, like he's doing this and he's doing that. But if it wasn't the case.
And how is it that his inability to land a showstopper has given birth to one of Valorant's oldest and most oft-memed terms of art?
No Raze Ult, please.
Don't panic. Oh, you're right. Dude, Mike, that's a new one. I don't even think we can call that one Roselle.
Okay, so before we blast pack our way into Subroza's story, I gotta do the thing where I ask you to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. I was gonna segue into a clip of me being Rose-ulted or something, but I'll be honest, your boy is way too clean with it to even let him get the ult off in the first place.
Oh, before she even got it off?
Now, unsurprisingly, like a lot of Valorant's earliest aimbots, this French-Canadian fragger of Moroccan descent hailed from the skill-intensive shores of CSGO. What you may not know is that he was grinding free-to-play shooters for years before that.
I was playing AVA, I was like 13 years old, 14 years old, 15 years old. And I was just playing for fun, you know, like with my IRL friends and some friends I met online. And then eventually there's like these little tournaments they would do, but they were so little. It was like for $500, sometimes like for in-game items. And I was like sign up for them, and I thought it was pretty fun. And then some of the people that would compete in those games or those tournaments would always like talk about CS. And I was like, let me just try this CS thing everyone like kept talking about. So I downloaded CS and I fell in love with it, and everything was just better.
By the end of 2015, Subroza was starting to dip his toe into actual competitive play, and by 2016 was cutting his teeth in small North American leagues, LANs, and qualifiers.
Crossing towards elbow, both his teammates coming through CT, and Uber just coming through rapid, cleaning up 1-2 members of Anixia, and Android gonna clean up Kuz, but Subroza finds 1 and 2, and now it's a 1v1, and Subroza just came huge for Nixia CS.
When I first touched a computer, because obviously when I was a kid, like I wanted to be a soccer pro or whatever, like I wanted sports and that. And then when you don't make it like at a certain age, like 11, 12 years old, 13 years old in Quebec, it's kind of like pointless. You're kind of just wasting your time. So as soon as I kind of like committed to playing on the computer, like playing those games like Soldier Front, AVA, I was putting like ridiculous amount of time. Like it was like if I'm not in school or I'm not doing anything like I would be on the computer. And then playing those like 8 years before playing CS, like dude, I started playing CS I think at like 16, 17, and I played like FPS free to play for like 10 years old, 11 years old. I think we started like the first one, Soldier Front or Soldier Front 2. So 7 years just playing straight FPS, and when I switched to CS, it was like similar game. It's pretty much the same thing. I just had to learn the mechanics. So like literally a year of playing all day, every day, took me to pro level.
Come the end of the summer, he'd gotten his first big break on Counter Logic Gaming, and was regularly seen facing off against the biggest, baddest bruisers NACS had to offer.
Nothing's traded off, but it seems like the damage has been done a little bit. Another kill almost through the smoke. Subroza entering the site. Shroud is massively exposed.
Subroza just has a sick game sense right there. Almost hitting that shot like 5 times in the smoke.
Kit on Skadoodle, so there's a chance here for Cloud9 still. Automatic. He's been good for this team so far. Because they have the kit, they can let that smoke expire, but Subroza with a very nice peek comes out on top of it, and then right through the box.
And it was right around then that a narrative that had been burgeoning for some time really began to capture the attention of the community. Namely, that Rosa was, well, sus. You see, earlier that year, a certain clip from one of Subroza's league matches began making the rounds on various Counter-Strike forums. And if you were around back then, and are familiar with the details of Rosa's notoriety, you know exactly which clip I'm talking about.
I remember I was on TeamSpeak. We had just played this match with Anixia, and every pro player, like after they're done with their match, they watch the VOD and like their own clips and like, oh, look at this 2K I had. So I was doing that on my own on TeamSpeak, and I was watching the VOD, and then I saw the like vent thing, and I was like, wait, guys, look at this, and I clipped it, and I sent it to them. And then as soon as I sent it to them, they sent it to more people, and they were like, yo, look at what Subroza just did. That's when I was like, okay, maybe I should have done that. And then I went to the forum on ESCA, and I would like shit post sometimes, like just troll around. And then as soon as I posted that clip that night, that's when like I started feeling it like almost instantly, like almost messages everywhere like, yo, what the fuck was that? Like, what was that? I was like, I don't know, I thought it was pretty funny. Like, look at this. Like, I just did it randomly, and it happened to be like on him. That day would probably be the day I was like, oh shit, okay. People actually think I cheat.
He broke the vent. Why would he look there? What would be the point to look there? If he broke the vent, there'd be no point to look through the wall there. Okay, what is that accomplishing? What is looking through the wall accomplishing? You already heard that the vent's broken. What he's probably doing is he hears the vent break and he's checking with his cheats to see if the guy's been boosted.
Fueled by the desire to unearth even more incriminating evidence, people started scrutinizing Subroza's clips like never before. Eventually, spectators started to take notice of the fact that Rosa's aim was, admittedly, kind of weird. A quick study of his POV revealed frantic, seemingly prescient flicks that often resulted in his crosshair flying the way of an enemy player model, through a wall, on land.
When I first started playing CS and like just FPS game in general, and like people watched and like all that, I was always, like you said, the low sense kind of guy, and I used my arm. A lot of people will use wrist for the micro movement, but for me it was always arm. And it was the thing where like I wanted to always impress people, so I was like flick everywhere. So when I first went to CS tournaments and CS Pro and CS teams, I would have that aim stuff like, yo, look at my aim. Like I'm flicking everywhere and it's like working. And it's like, wow. And then sometimes I'll hit the craziest shot, and sometimes I'll always like whiff.
Play like Subroza for a second. This is my best Subroza impression.
And then when we went to that Northern Arena night, I remember I was like warming up on aimbots, and like I remember like people watching me and like being like, what the f***? Like, how does he do that? How does he do that and shit like that? So I was like thinking like, yeah, it's like working. Like, yeah, look at my flakes kind of thing. but it was not consistent. Like looking back at it now that I have more experience and I'm like a little smarter in the game, the aim style is definitely not consistent. Like it's bad to just flick around everywhere like a 16 years old kid that's just trying to hit heads. It's really bad. Like obviously relying on crosshair placement is going to be more consistent.
Now, as much as we all love Counter-Strike, there's no denying the fact that it has something of a fraught and indeed ugly history when it comes to cheating. From the Wild West that was 1.6 to the infamous vackening in the early days of Global Offensive, a hysteria surrounding sketchy clips has encircled the franchise for much of its existence. And Subroza found himself in the eye of that very storm.
You don't hack in matches, you don't hack in ranked. Where do you
Don't they look the same?
I think he downloaded hacks to see how hacks work, so he could try to mimic it himself. But I don't know how long ago he did this. Like, I don't know if you did this like recently.
What is that theory?
Listen, Subroza, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, it's super easy for you to
Ruby on Rails,
off, but you look super shady right now with the way you're trying to play it off.
Things went from bad to worse when Subroza's skeptics discovered he had an account on a website notorious for offering hacks. But Subroza maintains that it was a false smoking gun.
So when I used to play AVA, there was a website called MPGH, and it was okay. So the thing is, it wasn't only a hacking stuff like blah blah blah. Oh, I go there, I download cheats. First of all, if you go on a website like this and you download cheats, I probably guarantee you get banned in a day. Like you can go ahead and try that. Like doesn't matter. But if you look at the profile of the account, you could see like 0 downloads. You could literally see I have not like. As soon as you download something on the website, it'll show on your profile like 1 download, 2 download, 3 download. You could literally see on the website that I had 0 download, and also you could see 1 forum post. Those are the 2 things you could see in the website. If you go in the forum post, which people did, was a big thread of me selling my AV account with all the skins.
But the most incriminating part of all of this, and what the Reddit detectives somehow missed, was his name. In Latin, Subroza literally translates to under the rose. But in the language's post-1500 revival, which is often called New Latin, it was coined as an idiom to denote secrecy, since roses have been associated with themes of concealment and silence since the days of antiquity.
Sub space rosa means like something in Latin or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Something done in secret.
Something done in secret.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're hacking.
Now, to be fair, not everyone thought he cheated. And they said as much.
Aim lock? If he loses this, like, I don't know what to say. He cheats.
It's not a meme, is it?
And if he loses, then that's really sad. I'm just playing, guys. He doesn't cheat.
Do I think Subroza is cheating? No. No.
Subroza is not cheating. Get over it. Alright. In all seriousness. All the witch hunting in CSGO is just so terrible.
Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to thwart the harassment he was receiving in virtually every nook and cranny of Counter-Strike. At one point, the level of heat Subroza was attracting even forced his own org, CLG, to ask some uncomfortable questions.
Like I had this meeting with like the CEO at the time and like the VP or something like that, and they were like, yo, like, do you actually cheat? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yo, I'm literally just trolling people online. I'm like, are they serious? Like, do they actually think I cheat? Because I'm in a gaming house playing in front of them. I just came back from a LAN. Like, in my head, I'm like, I proved my team I can play. Like, I did good at the LAN. In my head, when it started getting annoying, it was like, oh man, like, if the pro scene thinks that, like, it might me my career. You know, I thought like the pros were smart enough to be like, oh, he doesn't cheat. Look at him. Like, he's doing this and he's doing that. But it wasn't the case. Yeah, I just feel like your career is kind of ruined for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like, let's say something happens where like CLG cuts me or CLG bench me or CLG like happens to like I want to leave. Like, it felt like maybe I couldn't get that other chance because like other teams think this or other teams think that. And then the other thing is like social is a big thing in esports. You know, like having a good brand is like important, and just messaging the orgs and talking to orgs and them knowing my reputation, it felt like a lot of them would like fade away from it just because of the cheating allegation. And I would just be like sitting at home like, bro, we're doing good as a team. We deserve an organization. We could be going pro with this lineup with the little support we could get. but it just felt like orgs didn't want to like link with that. It's just like no, and then that's when it really got annoying. I was like, wow, that's
After parting ways with CLG for personal reasons at the start of 2017, Subroza took a short break from professional play before re-entering the Tier 2 scene with an unsigned team who briefly became District 7. He then joined Ghost Gaming, with whom he was able to start grazing the upper echelon of competition, but never getting the better of it.
It's Bolts and Fallen to try and close this out for SK. Subroza and Wardell to look to hold on. The bomb goes down, Flash comes through, and it's perfect. Bolts finds the first. It is just Wardell back against the wall, and Bolt's going to double down. That's SK closing this out in a swift 2-0, 16-4 here on Dust 2, their map pick.
Subroza would go on to serve brief stints with the likes of United, Lazarus, and even Cloud9 before spending 2020 as a still unsigned up-and-comer whose next real opportunity might never come. And then, as with a lot of North American hopefuls at that time, fate extended a hand in the form of Valorant.
We were at Flashpoint in LA with Wardell and FNS. We had this team called Orgless, and we were doing pretty well, honestly, and we could not find a sponsor. But then we heard about this game coming out in a week, and then me and Wardell would, I would always tell Wardell, I'd be like, man, I'm telling you, this game's gonna be big. We should probably switch. This game's gonna be big. And then when I convinced Wardell to actually give it a full try with me when it came out, me and him would come up to FNS at random times, we'd be outside just taking a walk, be like, yo, John, just come with us. Just come with us. We're quitting. We're quitting. That's it. We're out. And then he would always think we're trolling. And then eventually the game did come out. We played it, and we actually did quit. So, we actually fell in love with the game. We thought it was cool, and we committed to it.
Almost instantly, Rosa and his compatriots were scooped up by Team Solo Mid, and thanks to their youth, creativity, and penchant for trying new things, they were quick to cement themselves as some of the game's earliest, most innovative juggernauts.
Oh, this is gonna be huge. He's gonna spot all of them right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God! Looking for the ace right now, and it's about to be peeked out here. Silver arrow to come out, and he's gonna win this fight, and he does with another headshot.
There's the ult as well. That's gonna reveal all the positions here of these remaining TSM players. Oh, Subroza, he looks absolutely on for this one, pushing for. Oh no, Subroza! He's managed to get all 4. That's incredible there from him.
Insane. But they'll be back in here. They can heal. They will be fine. But it's a 2v3. Now it's going to be a 1v1. It's just up to Sick. He has been spectacular, but it's not going to matter because Wardell gets the final shot. And TSM are your FaZe Valorant Invitational Champions.
Ironically, it didn't take long for the community to start harassing Subroza over his aim. Just not for the reasons you might think.
We were in scrims with TSM, and I wanted to pick up the duelist role. I think it was Drone playing the second duelist, but I wanted to try the duelist role, and then Drone was gonna go on Breach. And then we were sitting there yo, what duelist you want to play? I'm like, yeah, I can play Phoenix, I can play this, I can play that, I can even play Raze. And then my team was like, Raze? I've never played Raze before. They've seen my Phoenix, they've seen my this, they've seen my that, but never the Raze. And then I remember that day in scrim, I locked in Raze, yeah, let's give it a try. I'll play Raze today. And I did really good. Insanely good, off-rip, just not with the ult, just with in general. So I did really good in those scrims, and they were like, okay, yeah, let's have you play Raze. And we played I think it was a first strike invitational, and we made it really far. I was owning. And then when we made playoffs, there's 3 or 4 BO3s in a row, I could not catch a break with the ult. There's some that was really bad. Why would you ult there? Blah, blah, blah. I died. Whatever. Go next. There was some that was this guy's blind, stunned. And I'm like, that's a good ult. But then he would kill me full blind, or his teammate would flash me, or my teammate would block me, or there was always something that would happen. So just not getting a kill with it, and there was 3 BO3s in a row, everyone was like, yeah, it's a Rosa ult.
And from this unfortunate string of calamitous showstoppers, the now infamous Rosa ult was born.
Oh my God, no way I missed that.
The thing that pushed the meme even harder is I would stream daily, and I would for the next 2 weeks after that meme was created, everyone would be in my chat just ready to type it. Just yo, let's you play Raze, I'm ready to type it. And I would play Raze just to entertain them, and the ult would never hit. At some point, I was like, it's whatever.
Within no time, Rosa's rowdy, rambunctious misfires had become one of the single most memed upon things in Valorant. And with good reason. Homie was cursed. Every time this motherfucker pulled out his showstopper, you knew what was gonna happen next.
What?
You somehow still didn't get a Raze Ult.
It's just I'm cursed, man. I'm cursed. It's what I've been saying. It's what I'm saying. I'm cursed. I've been saying this for years, man.
It didn't matter who you were, where you were playing, or what ult you were whiffing. If you maxed up those charges and didn't convert, Twitch chat was spamming one thing and one thing only.
Ah, don't say it, please, chat. Don't say it, I got 2 kills, don't say it, man. Please don't say it. Guys, it didn't even count. I didn't even pull out the first stage of the rocket. There's 4 stages I have to get through to shoot the rocket. I didn't even get past the first one. If I got past the first stage, then sure. But I didn't even pull it out yet, man. It's not even a Rosa ult, man.
Hey, after the Rosa ult meme, like 2 or 3 weeks after, I figured out how to ult. It was fine. It was fine when I figured out how to ult. But it was like too late. The fire was like, it's too big. I don't give a f. I actually don't care.
But, contrary to what you might expect, being the butt end of one of Valorant's oldest and most seminal jokes hasn't irked Rosa in the slightest. In fact, oddly enough, he's actually really thankful for it.
Like, I'm super grateful, man. I have a great community. Like, just they keeping me grinding, you know, because like, look, I look forward to streaming. I think it's super fun.
Since switching to Valorant, Rosa has built up a following of loyal, adoring fans who show up every day to goad him, cheer him on, and show him a boatload of love. His viewers may have shown up for the whiffs, but he's given them plenty of other reasons to stick around.
I wish they would, bro. I have ult ready.
One enemy remaining.
What?
Oh
my. Send 5 more.
Are you seeing someone go here?
Where?
Stop.
Where?
Abdo, can you stop?
What is happening?
Abdo, nobody's laughing.
I'm deadass. I think he fell asleep. Wait, what? Wait, I am deadass. He fell asleep. Wait. Oh, Jordan just told me. Oh, لا إله إلا الله. وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. لا إله إلا الله. ما شاء الله. Wow.
I've got your trail.
Going up.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god!
For the first time in his career, Rosa can truly be said to have earned the respect and admiration of not only his peers, but the esports community at large. And sure, it may be true that after all these years, people still give him shit about his aim. But at least it's for the right reasons. Not out of malice, but more importantly, for the memes.
Backside, on site. Oh! Alright.
This is why they think, you know.
Don't say it.
Yeah. And I would always laugh at people like, where are the people that used to think I cheat now? But they would never like pop up, you know. Everyone's like, you know, I always knew. Now they're all fans.
Bro, I swear I would hit every Raze ult if instead of saying, here comes the party with that like cringe voice, it says, baby, welcome to the party. You know what I mean? Like they put a Pop Smoke shit in that bitch. I swear to God, I would never miss that bitch.
Absolutely, dude. I'm getting good, man. I'm getting real fast. Woo! Woo! No, I speedrun that shit, dude. I'm getting fast. Yeah. dead ass, I can do a Don't At Me now in like 11 minutes. Dead ass.